Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is June the 5th, 2021, and today the topic is perceptions. Man, well, first of all, thank you all for tuning in last night to God, Sex, and Love, the talk show live with Big Talk, Big Game. I had a good time talking to those gentlemen last night. I hate that I didn't get a chance to talk more to Mr. E. Cal, but again, he seems awesome in a little bit of time that we got a chance to get to know him, and hopefully we'll have those gentlemen back soon. I know I did get an invitation to their show as well, so I'm looking forward to taking them up on that and, go on their turf and whatnot. But, yeah, I appreciate those of you all that tuned in live and commented and all that. I appreciate you all that shared and everything as well. Yeah, man, yesterday was a pretty cool day. I mean, mom stuff, you know how that goes. But also, I mean, your girl took out a little bit of time and give herself a nice little manicure. I know y'all don't care because from what I'm understanding, most men folk is listening to me, so y'all probably don't care nothing about no manicure. But I'm just letting you know that, this didn't take me too long to, accomplish. Ended up just doing a manicure because my pedicure's still popping from whenever that was. I think the week that my sister's open house, I did my nails and I gave myself a mani and pedi before then. So my pedicure is still looking fine from that. But I gave my, mani a refresh because I don't know. I feel like when I do my show, I like to keep fresh manis. Now when I know I'll be slacking for y'all on the juice, so y'all be seeing me looking all rough and, I might have my nails done, maybe not, but when I do the show, I be wanting to have things together. But anywho, so yeah, I did this quick mani. And so that's one thing I did yesterday, as well as, and if you're interested, unwindselfcare.com. That's UNWINE selfcare.com. I think y'all know how to spell self-care. You guys can check out, my nail polish business, my little wine business and things like that. But anyway, so I was doing that yesterday, and then I had an interview, a pre-record interview yesterday, which went really well. I don't want to tell you too much, man, but that gentleman was really cool. And yeah, it's just amazing how God works, and the people that you meet along the way and all of that. So be on the lookout. I mean, like I said, there's going to be just a lot of pre-records coming after this month. So, because, I'm kind of backed up on them, by putting all these lives this month. Yeah, your girl got pre-records that needs to get out there and whatnot. So, anywho, so yeah, I did that, and then, soon after I got ready to do my live interview. And so that was pretty much by yesterday. In the midst of that, making sure little man and I ate and all that good stuff, and just regular life stuff. But yeah, man, I don't know, y'all, I really do feel blessed to be doing this, and to just everything that's been involved with it. The fact that I've been able to create, and I don't know, I know I took a lot of time to reflect on that, and you guys probably are tired of hearing about it. But, I mean, I guess for me, when I share my testimony, or when I really, really think about, how life has been for me over the years, it just means so much to me, you know what I mean? It's like, and it feels good, you know what I mean? It feels good. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope that encourages you and inspires you. I hope that I'm not, annoying you by sharing, how good it feels to just get up in the morning and do this. I mean, I know that, I don't know, I feel like it's a blessing. It's been a blessing to me. I hope that it's been a blessing to you all. And like I said, I've been able to meet so many people along the way, and by doing the show and just everything. So, I don't know. Maybe I've gotten to know way more people by doing this than maybe even by all the things I've done over the years. Like, and I met a lot of people along the way, don't get me wrong. Like, Disney, I met a lot of people from around the world. All of my jobs and stuff like that is very social, settings and whatnot. But I don't know, there's just something about this that is just on another level. I don't know if it's because I'm having so many personal and one-on-one conversations with people. I don't know why it feels personal, but anyway, I digress. So how did I get to this topic of perceptions today, right? So, well, your girl woke up, I did my whole routine. Oh, I feel a whole lot better as well. So shout out to you and thank you for, your concern and I guess your prayers and everything like that. Your girl feels a lot better today. So thank and praise God for that. But yeah, so, did my full routine and somehow in the midst of that, by doing that and also my prayer meditation and everything like that, I guess the word perceptions just came into my mind. And so I just was like, okay. I started to look up the verses, but they weren't resonating. So I was like, well, let me make sure I understand what perceptions mean. And X, Y, and Z. So I looked up the definition. It says the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. And then the second definition says a way of understanding or interpreting something, a mental impression. Because, yeah, like when I came across, like when the word came across my mind this morning, I was kind of thinking about the way we see each other, stereotypes, all that, right? All right, so I'm gonna mention this. Hopefully it's not offensive. I don't know, but I guess, for example, and maybe this is why it's on my mind because I've been communicating with these gentlemen because they've been again helping me with projects and whatnot. But my boys in Pakistan, right? Now, here's the thing. Obviously, now okay, Sammy and I we've FaceTime one time, and I want to say we've had a lot more personal conversations via messages than I have with our Saul. But either way, both of them, the way they interact with me, the way that they talk to me, and all of that is just, it's like with respect, it's with appreciation, it's with there's that condescending about how they speak with me, or and it seems as if they are just as accepting and appreciative of me as I am of them, right? Now, here's the thing. I don't know much about Pakistan. You know what I mean? I don't. I only know what I hear, what I've heard on the news, and I told y'all, y'all know me about the news and everything like that. So really, I don't know much about Pakistan. I just know it. From what I'm understanding, maybe it might be close to Israel. I don't even know that. You know what I mean? But sometimes when you think about these other countries, right? You feel as, you kind of come with a preconceived notion, right? You come with how you think that the people are, or how you think the people feel about me, or not just me. People generalize, right? And the impression of people in other countries, it comes across as if people may have an issue with Americans. People have an issue with Black Americans, and all of that. Just in general, it seems very general, right? That's that perception. Now, by me getting to know these gentlemen, by working with them and them editing the show, and and all the things that we've created together thus far, like I said, I've felt nothing but respect from these gentlemen. You know what I mean? Like, I felt nothing but appreciation and willingness to listen to my ideas and execute them in a way where it's like, I don't even worry about it no more. Like, honestly, I don't even give them no instruction no more when it comes to editing the show. All I do is send the stuff. You know what I mean? I just send footage, and I'm not worried about it at all. I know they're going to put it together in a way that is acceptable for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. But when you think about stereotypes and perceptions and all this, you got this preconceived notion in your mind. Like, if I was the type of person to just take what I've heard about Pakistan over the years and just, these folks, these guys are from Pakistan, I'm not going to work with them, then I would have missed out on my blessing of just being able to really, really have a connection with these people that I barely know now, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they barely know me. But at the end of the day, you know, there's a respect, there's an appreciation. There's like, I don't have to worry about my stuff. They don't have to worry about me paying. Like, it's just a smooth working relationship that honestly, again, came from me stepping out on faith with this. So that's a whole nother thing as well. Because like I said, I feel like it's a God thing too. Because there's so many different people that I could have worked with. But, you know, somehow in the communication process while I was vetting vendors or whatever the case was, or while I was trying to find, you know, someone to help me with what I got going on here, you know, Sammy stood out by the grace of God, and since then, like I said, he's been doing, you know, what we signed on to do, as well as, again, it's going beyond that. So I think I praise God for them, you know what I mean? To me, they feel like family. To me, you know, even though we barely know each other and they're clear over in Pakistan and all this other stuff, I'm over here like, y'all feel like brothers to me. And that's how I feel about y'all. And I appreciate y'all, and I try to let them know that. And I just feel like we come into situations, and I'm just saying we, in general, humans. Because honestly, I'm tired of the separation. Like, I'm tired of all the splitting up and all the, like, stereotypes and all these things. Because they could have did the same to me, right? They could have looked at my photo and been like, nah, we not going to work with this girl. She probably not going to pay. She probably not going to tip. She probably not going to... Whatever stereotype that come along with me looking the way I do. And so, I don't know, I guess that's just something to reflect on today, because, I mean, you know, again, when I just think about, you know, what God is doing with this, and the fact that, you know, again, you know, same thing with, you know, I don't know what Shade Tree looks like. It don't matter to me, though. Again, he seems like a brother to me, too. If he was to log in, I'd be like, Shade Tree, hey, what's up, you know, X, Y, and Z. Same thing for you, and from what I understand, he's a Caucasian man. Who would have known this Caucasian man would tune in to this little black woman over in the United States and give me encouragement every day by tuning in and commenting. Like, that's the thing. It's like perceptions, right? Now, okay. I didn't know I was going to go that deep into it. But, I mean, you know, so that's what was on my mind. When the word perception came into my mind, then those things came into my mind. And like I said, I started to look up verses and they weren't resonating. So I was like, let me look up the definition. I did that. Eventually, that led me to the word discernment. And obviously, you know, the word got something to say about that. But just to go ahead and tell you guys, the word discernment, it means the ability to judge well. And then the second definition, interestingly enough, says the Christian context is perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual guidance and understanding. So that is discernment according to the definition and everything like that. And so obviously, you know, I could look up some verses regarding that, and, you know, I have those to share with you now, I guess. But yeah, discernment. If I could just, before I get into the verses, I know this may be controversial. It might be, depending on, you know, the way you believe in X, Y, and Z, and that, and, you know, that's up to you. You know, if you want to live your life and just judge people and have preconceived notions about people based on what they look like, based on where they're from, all of that, you got the free will to live your life like that, friend. I'm not taking nothing away from you. But for me, what I'm gathering about, my little life experience is that humans are humans, you know what I'm saying? And to me, the difference is good and evil. And that's it. Race, all that other stuff, in my opinion, don't even matter. And I know that's deep. I know that's deep to say. I know that's probably, random and probably even taboo for a black woman to say, because y'all probably thinking people might feel some way. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the skin I am in. I thank God that, He made me the way He did. And it takes nothing away from my personal, even though, again, I feel like with being, African American, I know I talked about this in the past, but I do feel like as an African American, there's just certain parts of ourselves that we don't know and we're reaching for and things like that. And so I do understand that. However, I think, now this is just me, but I think that things would be a lot better if we just really look at things for what they are and not looking at things like, oh, it's us versus them and it's all this. Like, I think it's just good versus evil. I think that's what the issue is. Good versus evil across the board. And then, let's separate in that way, because that's the way that the Bible separates us. So I feel like that's the way that we should separate each other. And I know that sounds bad too, because, that means there's an evil side. But, people make their choice about that. And, people individually make their choice about that. So for me, when I get to know people and whatnot, I try to use my discernment. Good versus evil, X, Y, and Z. I don't try, I don't go, well, at least I try not to, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect, but, I don't go out of my way to, look at somebody, and which is something we do now, don't get me wrong, because, you'll look at somebody and be like, oh, well, they might not be X, Y, and Z, because look at how they're dressed, or look at what they look like, or whatever the case is, and it's like, somebody can really, really do themselves up, but can be, in the lowest place, and vice versa. We see it with this whole perception of being a celebrity and everything like that. Most of the time they're really going through a lot mentally or whatever the case is. Could be depressed and all this stuff, but they have the perception of this wonderful life. That's the thing. I don't know. So I feel like we should just use our discernment in that area. When it comes to perception. But hey, let me tell you what the Bible says, because y'all probably gonna sit here, it's like miracle talking. So here we go. 1 John 4:1, it says, Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have gone out into the world. This is a verse I've shared before. This is a verse that I guess any Bible reader should know or be familiar with. We definitely should be, testing the spirits. This is the way we know if they're good or evil or not. Again, that goes back to the heart. We talked about that the other day. It goes back to their fruit, and everything like that. And sometimes, as they say, it is what it is, something to think about there. Now, Hebrews 5:14 says, But solid food is for the mature, for those who have their powers of discernment trained by constant practice to distinguish good from evil. What stood out to me the most in this verse today, because again, it's another verse that we should be familiar with, however, something that stood out to me today that gave me a, different perspective was the last part here saying, trained by constant practice to distinguish good from evil. For those who have their powers of discernment trained by constant practice to distinguish good from evil. It's like this is something that we should constantly be practicing. We should practice our discernment. And how can we do that? one, I say, and it's just me, but I'm thinking we could practice it by giving everybody the benefit of the doubt and let them reveal themselves. Not making a preconceived notion of, oh, that's how that person looks, I'm not going to, whatever. Like, hey, get to know people for who they are as individuals. Don't lump them up. Come to people with a fresh slate. And at the end of the day, they're going to show you who they are. And that's how I think we can practice this discernment thing. That's just, again, a little, I don't know. You guys can take it or leave it. Try it if you want to. I guess that's how I try to approach things. I mean, when I was dating, all that stuff, I kind of stayed open to, the people that I met. Now, see, I was somebody that I didn't want to waste nobody's time either, so if I did not feel like things were going to go to another level, I tried to, communicate that and whatnot. I mean, sometimes it depends on the situation, because sometimes you know what you like and all that type of stuff. So nobody's talking about that. But what I'm saying, like, in general, just across the board, let's not, again, look at people and make judgments that at the end of the day, personally that you wouldn't want nobody to do to you. That's the thing. Because I feel like that's what we're kind of all guilty of too, right? We'll sit here and point the fingers at others like, oh, you judging me. You looking at me like I'm everybody else. I am me. I'm an individual. But then on the flip side, you'll go and do the same thing to somebody else. Like, just chill. Everybody is an individual. And like I said, I had to look at men that way when I was dating. But now I'm like, hey, let's just look at everybody that way. Let them reveal themselves. They will reveal themselves. Just get to know folks. You know what I mean? and see where it goes. Now, obviously, again, if I go back to my friends in Pakistan, I could have, had a preconceived notion, X, Y, and Z. Or they could have had a preconceived notion about me based on what they've heard about Americans and black people or whatever. And then we would have missed out on all these great things that we've done together over this past year. That's one thing. But then on the flip side, I mean, I feel like we both kind of came to the plate like, hey, you do business, I do business. And it just started like that. And then now it's become something more. But, I don't know. I'm just saying, this is just something to think about today. I'm not saying. But anywho, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So, what happened after that is I ended up going deeper. I ended up listening to Hebrews 5. Now, I know y'all just heard that, right? Y'all just heard that word, right? Listening to it. So basically, I went to the Bible app, right? And I was getting ready to read it, but as I was reading it, for whatever reason, I think the gentleman's voice that they use on the Bible app was in my head. And so I was like, I might as well just listen to him say it. And I mean, now I read along with him. And so that was the thing too. I will say it seemed a little bit distracting this time to listen to him. But at the same time, it was kind of cool too, because I haven't done it in a long time, like listen to the verse with the Bible app. Because I used to do it a lot back in the day. Just turn the thing on and just listen to it. But yeah, something about it today just kind of led me to do it that way. I don't know if you guys want to do that, but what I'm saying is, hey, if you're somebody that, maybe you haven't purchased the juice yet, maybe you don't have your Bible study experience in the works. So if you want to at least get some word or whatever, you can, just have a little man read it to you. It's so convenient now. Look, while the Bible app is yet available for us, y'all, you might want to use it. But yeah, so I listened to it today. I listened to the entire Hebrews 5. And the verses that stood out to me, or one verse in particular, was verse 13. And it says, "For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe." Verse 12 kind of stood out too, but I didn't write that one down. And again, you guys can go deeper and read that entire thing on your own. But yeah, it's just one of those things to think about when it comes to, spiritual discernment and the whole meat versus the milk situation. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like we all need to get to that place to be able to take in more of what God wants to reveal to us, but a lot of us is still stuck on the basics, and that's where some of our issues come in as well. Because I know even me, sometimes I would try to have conversations with people on another level, and it'd be like, okay, well, obviously you don't even understand what I'm talking about because you ain't even you still on the surface, and I'm over here, and not to be like I'm better than nobody. I'm just saying that's how sometimes conversations be. Whether it's on the flip side, maybe somebody could be talking over my head, and I'm in a place where I'm like, I don't fully understand or something like that. So I don't know, just saying. But yeah, we all need to be trying to grow spiritually, allowing God to help us and whatnot. So there's some more verses in the Go Deeper section you guys can peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds regarding this. But if there's one verse that I can leave with you here, that is John 7:24. It says, "Do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment." So, yeah, y'all. I mean, that's my little talk on perceptions. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it gave you something to think about, because unfortunately, this is something that affects us every day. And I feel like it's just something that we get stuck on. And at the end of the day, we can't learn, we can't grow, we can't get better if we're stuck on these perceptions of each other, rather than actually getting to know people. And allowing the fruit and them to speak for themselves. Now, once you get to know somebody, that's a whole other level. Like, once you discern what the people are and how, good versus evil, then okay. You know what I mean? But let's not go into situations with, off the bat, thinking that people are evil or whatever. But I don't know. Just something to think about. Now, the Bible verse of today is Matthew 6:34. It says, "Take therefore no thought for the morrow. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.